I'm with Candice Windham, and she is going to show us how to make this fabulous Valentine box. Candice, can you show us the first step?
Sure. The first thing you want to do is to cut your embellishments. We're using Makin's air dry clay, and we want to do it first because we want it to dry while we're working on the rest of the project. So, place your clay down, roll it. You can roll it with a clay machine. I prefer the roller. Then you take a texture plate. I'm using 2 different ones.
Okay.
You lay it down. This is about 1/8 of an inch thick clay.
Oh, perfect.
And then you just roll over it. And you get a beautiful texture.
A really nice texture.
Then you take the clay cutters and press out your
it's great.
Press out your clay. And then use the smaller one to use up the rest of this piece. And one tip on the clay is while you're making 1 or 2 or 3, why not make more and put them aside so they're already dried, ready to use.
That's very smart.
Okay, then I'm going to roll up what I have left here. This is about, this is half of a pack. They come in five little pieces to a pack, and this is half of one of them. Now, you can leave these white, you can paint them. You can also incorporate acrylic paint into the clay. You knead it into the clay and get any color you want. You can take the other Makin's clays, put them together, produce a third color. You know, it's just
so easy.
It is. It's wonderful. It's a wonderful tool. Okay, then I'm going to press this one. It's a totally different. Actually, it's not totally different. It still has some swirls in it.
So kind of the smaller version.
It complements this, and so I'm going to take the medium-sized cutter and cut that out. And there's that. Now, and while I'm at it, I'm going to cut one more of these and
have those little extras.
Have that little extra. And this one has a little error on the corner. I don't know if you can see that. I'm just going to smooth it with my finger. And it's fine. Perfect. It's ready to go. Now, I want these hearts to become buttons. So I'm going to use the clay tool, piercing tool.
You're making your own buttonholes.
Making my own buttonholes.
That's and really smart.
These could actually be used on clothing.
Great. So while Candice finishes up making her buttons, we're going to get ready for our next step. Our next step is painting and stenciling.
First thing we're going to do is paint the box with 2 coats of Deco Art Dazzling Metallics acrylic paint, which has a beautiful sheen, a pearly really sheen to it.
And I noticed you just painted about 2 inches down in the inside.
Right, because we're going to be covering that up.
Okay.
So no sense in wasting your paint. On the lid, I did the same thing, but on the inside I used a blue.
So pretty.
I love the blue. So now I'm going to stencil, and I'm using this same blue to stencil with the Deco Art stencil. And what I do is I just line them up. I find some reference point. I'm using this little dot on the bottom.
I see.
And I'm just lining it up on the edge of the box. You can tape these down, or you can spray them with
some kind of a tacky spray.
Yeah, a repositionable, so that it comes off. So all you do there is have it. Whoops.
Blue painter's tape is my
blue
friend.
Painter's tape, yes, or frog tape. I love frog tape. So I'm just going to hold this down right here. I like these little sponge daubers because they're just good. You don't want a whole lot of paint because you'll get a run. So you just want to tap it.
It is just a tap, tap, tap,
yeah,
tap.
Just tap, tap, tap. And if you can get these little holes up here lined up, you can follow them all the way around and just place it and go around. Now, if you're very concerned about getting that stencil on there to where it's perfect all the way around. Now, my motto is if it's perfect, it's not handmade.
Oh, I love that.
But you can do these stencils, instead of trying to do 3 at a time, you can do them individually by putting one here, coming across and putting one directly across, then one exactly between and one more exactly between. And then if you need to fill in, you can do it.
Then you can.
Yes.
Great tip.
Okay.
Our next step is to line the box.
Okay, you want to cut a piece of Cunin felt. I love this stuff. It's just, I don't know, it has a feel about it. It feels like a warm fuzzy, you know. You want to cut it 1 inch taller, 1 inch longer at the bottom. So add 2 inches to the height
Whatever
of the
your box you're using.
Right. And then you just turn it under along the top and use the Beacon Fabri-Tac glue, which is
good old Fabri-Tac. I love this stuff.
Great product. And you just turn it under, press down. You can, if you want to, clip it with some.
That's really a smart idea. I like that.
You can use bulldog clips. You can use regular clothespins. You know, just anything.
And it dries really fast.
It does. Yeah. It dries really fast, and that's why you need to always put the lid back on. Okay, and then on the end of one, you want to turn it over just so you'll have a finished.
So we're just going to have that finished on one end.
Right. Okay. Then on the other side, on the bottom side, I don't want a seam. I don't want to be able to see any of that box shining. Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm cutting up about 1 inch apart and 1 inch up, all the way down.
This is definitely a step you do not want to miss. It's very important for you sewers out there and non-sewers.
That's true.
Great tip to learn.
That's true. And then we're going to pretend that this is all done. You're going to take your box, and I like to go ahead and apply the glue to the inside of the box rather than to the fabric. So you go all around. When you paint your box, you only paint it about 1 inch down, like I said before. So you just put the glue about 1/2 inch down from the top.
While Candice is gluing, we're going to take a little break. Now we're going to decorate the lid. What are you doing? Okay,
I'm sponging the edges of this with Deco Art Americana satin paint, which you don't need hardly any.
Yeah.
I don't even pour it out on the paper. I just
dab it from the bottom jar.
Right. And that gives you a little definition for the edge of your,
and a little vintage look too.
Right, right. So then, I love this lace. It's wide, and when I bought it, I thought it was gathered, and it wasn't.
So you got to do your own gathering.
So you have to do your own gathering, but I also discovered something. If you take the lace and fold it over, you get a beautiful double ruffle.
Oh,
and then you just, needle and thread.
Running base stitch.
Big old galloping stitches, like my grandmother used to fuss at me about. Galloping stitches. And you wind up with this. And you make enough to go around the circle. You glue the lace to the back. Whoops, I'm sorry I have it on the wrong side. You want that double ruffle to really show, because it's so pretty. So you just attach it around with the Beacon Fabri-Tac, which is a great glue.
Okay.
But then once I get it done, I attach it to the box itself with Beacon 527, which is a multi-purpose glue, and it is just wonderful. It here's all kinds of things. Okay, then we're pretty much through with that. Then you want to add your buttons, but first you want to put a good coat of Judican's Diamond Glaze, and this was the first product like this that I ever used, and I'm still in love with it.
It makes it look like it's a real glossy button, doesn't it?
Yeah. When you first put it on, it looks a little cloudy.
And honestly, you would never know this is clay.
No.
And you did paint these buttons too.
I painted the buttons and I put a thread through them.
Yes.
So and after I put the thread in, then I actually put the diamond glaze on. Then all I did to finish it off was to put some little bling around it, and I used the trick of putting them across from each other. From each other.
So clock.
Right.
And then you put a little
strip of pink velvet. I love velvet ribbon, and it's just perfect for this Valentine box.
Now we're going to show you the great surprise inside the box. I love this face. This is the cute little surprise inside the box.
First thing you want to do is take your Paterna charm, and I've used one of the hearts that I cut out earlier and painted, and you can use your diamond glaze just to put a little dot on the inside,
That secures it down?
Yeah, it holds it down, and it doesn't take but a minute to dry. And I put the heart in there at a little bit of an angle, and that way I kind of protect myself that if it decides to move around, it really won't matter, because I meant to do it like that.
Okay.
Okay, and then when that's secured, you fill this with the diamond glaze, fill it to the top, and then this is what
amazing.
you come out with.
Yeah, that looks so great.
Okay. For the little mirror, I just used a little purse-sized mirror that you can pick up at any, five and dime store, and I put etch mask over it, which is an etch-all product that it's real sticky. It holds things down really good, and then I just cut out a heart. But when I got ready to put my etch-all on there, I left the heart in place so I could do a negative.
Okay,
a negative etch. So I pulled off the outside, and when you use etch-all and this great little trowel, you put it on heavy. You don't put it on.
It's nice and thick.
Very thick, and don't worry about how much you put on there. You can just glob all over it, because when you're through with it, you're going to put it back.
I know, that's a great part about this product. You can reuse it again.
Yeah. And so I let it sit 15 minutes, and then I scraped it off, put it back in the bottle, and washed off the excess. And then when I removed my mask from my heart, I've got my heart right there in the front. So
great surprise.
Yes. The lace, I just fashioned a little square out of lace by taking it and folding it at the corner, and then coming down and folding it at the corner, just so I had it big enough to go behind my mirror, so it would fit. And then I glued all of that together and put it down in there with Beacon Quick Grip, which is one of the best glues in the world. Then I just hand wrote, I love this face.
That's a really cute.
On cream paper, and just put a little scrap of a reddish paper behind it. When you're through with adding this in there, and it's good and dry, I would let this dry overnight, just to make sure, because that is a very heavy mirror. You put a sweet treat in there for your Valentine, put the lid on it, show them how much you love it.
This is great, Candice. I'm like, thank you for doing this for me.
Oh, you're welcome.
Because now I've got something for my sweetheart. We hope you've been enjoying our All-Star Designers Winter Series. Like us on Facebook, pin us on Pinterest, and follow us on Twitter.
And for full instructions and complete supply lists for all of the projects featured on the series, go to whencreativityknocks.com and sign up for our newsletter, and you'll be eligible to win one of the prize packages full of products from all of our series sponsors.